Bro, let me tell you straight up. The day I sold my firm for $38 million, I thought my biggest problem would be picking whether I wanted a lake house or a penthouse first. Turns out, nah. My biggest problem walked in wearing fake Louboutins, a busted attitude, and my nephew hanging off her arm like a lost puppy. Her name? Crystal. The kind of girl who pronounced entrepreneur like it was a sneeze and thought generational wealth was the name of a rap group. But let me start where it really popped off. I just wrapped up the signing. The final closing docs, champagne toast with the buyers, everyone clapping like they were happy to get rid of me. I walked out of that glass office tower feeling 10 feet tall, the kind of tall where even the sun looked up at me like, damn. I had 42 missed texts, 3 voicemails, and 1 drunk message from my buddy saying he was proud of me and also, quote, "You better buy me a boat." I wasn't even home 20 minutes before I heard the front door swing open like someone owed it money. My nephew, Tyler, stormed in with his girl trailing behind him, smacking her gum like she was keeping rhythm for her own theme song. "Uncle Ray," Tyler shouted, looking both excited and terrified. "We need to talk." "That sounds like something broke," I told him. "A vase? A limb? A law?" Crystal rolled her eyes so hard I swear she saw her own brain. "Ugh. Can we get to the point? Some of us have hair appointments." "Yeah," I said. "Some of us have respect for homeowners' floors too. But here you are with your muddy heels." Tyler winced. "Uncle, look, I heard you sold the firm." "And," I said, leaning back in the chair, "you want a souvenir from the celebration? A pen maybe? Champagne cork? Or you want to sing me a congratulatory song? I'm open." Crystal cut him off. "Tyler, baby, just tell him." "Tell me what?" "Oh, I was about to find out. We want to make sure everything is, fair," she said, doing that thing where people use the word fair right before asking for something ridiculous. "Fair?" I repeated slowly. "Fair like?" "Fair like going through the will," she said, crossing her arms. "And the beneficiary clause." "Bro." I choked on my own spit. Tyler jumped in. "It's just, we want to make sure you got everything labeled right since your net worth is, more netty now." "Netty?" I said. "You mean higher?" "Yeah," he said. "Netty." I stared at him like he'd just confessed he eats soup with a fork. "You think because I sold my firm today you need to come over here and check my beneficiaries? Am I dying? Did y'all get some memo from my doctor I didn't?" Crystal huffed. "Oh my God. Don't be dramatic. We just want to know if Tyler is getting his share since he's your only nephew and you don't have kids." Ah, there it was. The moment the vultures took off their disguises. "You here for the will?" I asked calmly. She didn't even blink. "Yes." Bro, I swear the audacity in that girl had Wi-Fi and unlimited data. I stood, walked to the kitchen, grabbed myself a soda, cracked it open, and took the longest sip just to let the silence marinate until it got awkward. Then I said, "Sit down." Crystal smirked like she'd won. Tyler sat down like a man who already regretted every decision that led him to this moment.
He pointed here.
"First off, you don't get to ask to see my will. It's Tyler's right," she said. "It's Tyler's nothing unless I die," I said. "And even then, it's whatever I chose. Y'all acting like I'm a TV inheritance plot." "But," she started. "Nope." I cut her off. "Don't but me in my own house." She threw her hands up. "Okay, fine. But I think it's only fair we know the beneficiary situation. That's what adults do." "Oh, adults," I said. "Like adults who pay their own bills? Adults who don't use someone's Netflix password for 3 years? Those adults." Tyler looked at the ceiling like he wished aliens would abduct him immediately. Crystal crossed her legs, leaned forward, and said with full confidence, "Look, when my mom passed, our lawyer said to always check the beneficiary clause anytime someone's asset value changes. So that's why I'm telling you, check yours." "You're telling me?" I repeated. "Yeah," she said proudly. "Financial awareness." Lord, I needed a moment. I wasn't sure if she was dumb, bold, or a combination scientists haven't named yet. Finally I said, "Let me get this straight. You, who I have known for 14 months. 16, she corrected. Not helping, Tyler muttered. You, who has contributed absolutely nothing to my life except noise pollution, are telling me to check my beneficiary clause. So you can make sure your boyfriend, who by the way has not had a job in 9 months, gets a fair share of my estate? She nodded like I'd finally understood her genius. Exactly. I laughed. Bro. I laughed so hard I had to grip the counter. She frowned. What's funny? You are. Her face dropped. Tyler sighed. Uncle, please, we just want clarity. I'll give you clarity, I said. The beneficiary is fine. It doesn't need checking. Crystal smirked like she expected that answer. Oh, so it's already in his favor? Good. Then just show us. Show you? I repeated. Show you my will? Yeah, she said. What's the big deal? The big deal is you're not my lawyer, not my spouse, and not my problem, I told her. I don't show you squat. She scoffed. Wow, so that's how you treat family. You ain't family, I said bluntly. Her jaw dropped like someone unplugged it. Tyler groaned. Babe, let's just calm down. No, she snapped. I'm not gonna be disrespected like this. I'm trying to help him. Help me do what? I asked. Help you be responsible with your money. I made $38 million last Tuesday because I was responsible, I told her. You, on the other hand, spent $300 last week on hair extensions that look like they're fighting for their life. She gasped. Wow, real classy. Oh, we talking about classy? I said. Classy is not using someone else's retirement as your future rent plan. She stood up so fast her purse fell over. You know what? Tyler, we're leaving. Your uncle clearly doesn't care about his legacy. Oh, I care, I said. Trust me. She stomped toward the door, heels clicking like angry castanets. Tyler slowly followed, turning back once. I'm sorry, Uncle Ray, he whispered. She meant well. No, she didn't, I said. But you did. And that's why you're still welcome here. He nodded and closed the door behind him. The silence after they left? Beautiful. Heavenly. Quiet like the inside of $1 million safe. But here's where things got weird. 1 hour later, I get an email, not from Tyler, not from Crystal, but from an attorney's office. Subject line. Request for beneficiary disclosure. Urgent. Bro, I blinked at that email like, nah, no way in hell she did that. But she did. Crystal had contacted a lawyer about MY will, about MY money, and she tried to file a formal inquiry claiming she was concerned about the rightful future interests of her domestic partner. Domestic partner. They'd been dating barely a year, and suddenly she's trying to speak like she's the executrix of my estate. I sat there in my living room, staring at my phone, wondering, does this girl think I'm some confused old man who signs documents in crayon? But I'm calm. I'm patient.
I'm strategic.
38 million didn't land in my lap because I panic. So I did what any rational person would do. I emailed the lawyer back and said, denied. Also, who paid you? Please refund them. You've been scammed. Then I called Tyler. He picked up on the fourth ring sounding like a kid who broke a lamp. Hey, uncle. Get over here, I said. Alone. Yeah, okay. Now here's where the story goes from annoying to explosive. Because what happened when Tyler came back? What he confessed? Why Crystal was so pressed about the beneficiary clause? Bro, it wasn't about the money. It was about something much darker. Something she hid from him. Something that made the hairs on my neck stand straight up. And it all tied back to one thing she desperately didn't want me to see. Her real identity. Tyler showed up 20 minutes later. No Crystal, no fake confidence. No gum-smacking nonsense in the background. Just him. Hoodie half-zipped. Eyes red like he'd either cried or spent the last hour questioning his entire existence. He walked in slow, like he was entering a courtroom instead of my living room. Sit. I told him. He sat. I didn't waste time. Tyler. Explain why your girlfriend just hired a lawyer to shake down my will. He swallowed. Hard. Uncle, I swear, I didn't know she'd do that. What you do know is why she's obsessed with the beneficiary clause, I said. So start talking. He wiped his hands on his jeans and let out this long, defeated sigh. The kind you hear from someone who's been carrying something heavy way too long. She's not who she says she is, he muttered. Oh, I know that, I said. I knew that the minute she asked if estate planning meant picking furniture. He cracked the tiniest smile, but it died immediately. Uncle, it's serious. I leaned forward. How serious? He stared at the floor like it might tell him what to say. She's been researching you. Researching, I repeated. Like what? LinkedIn stalking? Googling me? Or full-on conspiracy board with red string? He didn't laugh. Full-on, he said. She went through your old business articles, interview clips, financial press mentions. Everything. She even found your old SEC filings. My eyebrows shot up. What the hell for? Now he really looked sick. She wanted to know if you were vulnerable. Vulnerable how? She wanted to know if she could influence you. Get close. Like emotionally. Make sure you trust me more. Because if you did, I'd leave you more in the will, I finished. He nodded miserably. Bro, I whispered. Your girl tried to farm you for inheritance? He squeezed his eyes shut, like hearing it out loud physically hurt. She told me it was just smart planning, he said. But then, last month, I found her laptop open. What was on it? He looked up, eyes glassy. A list. A list of what? He hesitated. Tyler, a list of what? He whispered it. Men. My stomach dropped. She had a list of older men with money, he continued. Divorced ones. Widowed ones. Ones with no kids. Ones with kids they barely talked to. She'd written notes next to each name. What kind of notes? He swallowed again. This time it shook his whole throat. Stuff like, build trust, insert myself, push for beneficiary update, isolate from relatives, conflict creation strategy, estate access timeline. I felt my blood pressure spike. She had one next to your name, he added. What did it say? I asked quietly. He looked like he wanted to crawl out of his skin. Most promising target.
Jesus Christ.
I sat there stunned. My pulse thumped in my ears. All this time I thought she was annoying, greedy, loud, tacky, clueless. But she wasn't clueless. She was calculated, predatory, professional parasite. Tyler, I said slowly. Was she planning to marry you? He nodded weakly. She said we were on the clock. I didn't know what that meant until I saw the list. On the clock, I muttered. Like you were some countdown to cashing out. He buried his face in his hands. I feel like the dumbest person alive. You're not dumb, I told him. You're a 25-year-old dude who thought he found someone who liked him. That's not stupidity. That's normal. Then why did I fall for her crap? He asked. Because she studied you, I said. She studied everything. He didn't answer. I continued. Tyler, did she ever try to get you to push for other things? Like loans? Access to my accounts? Anything weird? He nodded. She told me to ask you for a down payment for us, he admitted. And when I said no, she got mad and told me I was ruining our future. She kept saying with your money, we'd never have to worry. I stared at him. Did you give her any of my personal documents? Bank stuff? Business info? No, he said quickly. Never. The most she ever saw was your address and your age. I sighed in relief. Thank God. He rubbed the back of his neck. Uncle Ray. She's gone now. I told her earlier I needed space. She flipped out. Said she wasn't gonna let me throw away the best strategic opportunity we'd ever get. Strategic opportunity, I repeated. She sounds like a Wall Street villain in a low-budget movie. That's how she talks when she's mad, he whispered. Did she threaten you? He hesitated. Tyler, not directly, but indirectly? I pressed. He nodded. She said I'd regret pushing her away, that she knows things about me, stuff she could leverage. I leaned back, exhaled. and felt a cold calm settle in. Not anger, strategy. I've dealt with sharks. I've dealt with hostile investors. I've dealt with people who hid knives behind smiles. Crystal wasn't new. She was just smaller, more desperate, less intelligent, but still dangerous enough to be annoying. You did the right thing, I told him. And now? Now we handle her. He blinked. Handle her how? First, I said, we lock everything down. I'm talking full security audit. Digital, financial, physical. I'll have my lawyer update all documents and flag her name if she ever tries to inquire again. He nodded. Second, I continued, I'll get you a new phone number. Wipe your devices. Make sure she isn't tracking you, logging into things, or recording you. His eyes widened. Recording? You think she might have? Tyler, I said. She made spreadsheets on men. I promise you she's capable of more. He looked sick again but nodded. And third, I said, we don't contact her. We don't warn her. We don't negotiate. We let her show her next move. Because people like her, they always overplay their hand. He sniffed, wiping his eyes. I'm sorry I brought her into your life. I shook my head. You didn't bring her into my life. She invited herself into it. He cracked a weak smile. Then my phone buzzed on the table. A text. Unknown number. I picked it up. The message made my blood run cold. Not because it was threatening, not because it was angry, but because it was calm, calculated, and sent way too fast to be a coincidence. The text said, "You think you can cut me out? Check your email." I already started the process. Tyler saw my face. What is it? I opened my email. My stomach dropped. She had filed another legal request. A more aggressive one. A petition claiming she had reasonable expectation of future financial reliance based on domestic partnership. She was trying to claim she was practically family. Trying to wedge herself into my estate by force. I stood up. Tyler, I said, grabbing my coat. Get in the car. Where are we going? To fix this. To who? I opened the door. To someone who knows exactly what to do with people like Crystal. He followed me, nervous. Who? I locked the door. An attorney, I said. But not just any attorney. He frowned. Then who? I turned to him and smirked. That same cold smirk I used in boardrooms when someone thought they could outplay me. My estate lawyer, I said. The one who writes contracts sharp enough to draw blood. And as we walked to the car, I heard my phone buzz again. Another text. From Crystal. I'm not backing off. I know more than you think. Tyler froze. Uncle, he whispered. She's not going away, is she? I unlocked the car, slid into the driver's seat, and started the engine. No, I said. She's not. I looked at him. But neither am I. Then I pulled out of the driveway. And that was the moment right there when this stopped being about a will and became a war. You just heard a story of betrayal, survival, and quiet revenge. If it left you thinking, hit like, share it forward, and subscribe for more true emotional stories that'll stay with you long after they end. Every click helps another story find its voice.